All right, I'm more intrigued now by the conversation around the Multiverse of Madness that you like to do.
Yeah, so let me explain this to you all who haven't heard us do a segment like this, the Multiverse of Madness. What I do is I pick a particular sport and I take Jay through several what-if scenarios that, if they were to occur, would really turn the sport upside down or really have an impact on the game. So since we're in the offseason, Jay, of the NBA, I have some what-if scenarios that will take us into a Multiverse of Madness. Out of these 5 or 6, maybe 1 or 2 might occur. It'd be up to you to decide which ones are more likely. But give these to me and tell me what you think about them, all right?
All right, let's go for it.
All right, number 1. What if Giannis holds off his decision until 2021 free agency?
If he goes through the entire
plays
plays the season and doesn't say anything about it.
Right.
Kevin Durant's situation, he's going to leave.
Mm-hmm. Where would you think he'd be most likely to go?
Miami.
For some reason, I thought Celtics.
Boston sounds intriguing. Mm-hmm. Boston won't have the money. Miami will. Because Miami, I think a couple of their guys should be falling off of the contracts around the time that Giannis is available. So I'd say Miami is the most intriguing of them all. He may go west out in California. I don't know what team. Well, think about it. Both Paul George and Kawhi Leonard will be available, will be free agents or potential free agents. So
I just realized something. This actually may have a connection to the 5th one of these I'm going to get to.
Okay.
But yeah, I can see Miami. I think their game, their style of play may actually, it's a little more old school, especially with how Jimmy Buckets plays. So that may be a better suit to his game than maybe Boston, but it'd be interesting. All right, next. What if the Clippers move Lou Williams and don't re-sign Montrezl Harrell?
If they move Lou Williams and they don't keep Montrezl Harrell, they better have a damn good contingency plan, because if they don't, they're going to struggle they're going to make the playoffs because of the stars that they have on the team with Kawhi and PG, but they won't make that second round.
Because you'd be sacrificing the one advantage that you have over teams, which is the best bench, the 2 best bench players in the league.
Exactly.
So you're right. If they move that, you better get whatever you need, starting point guard, whoever, something that can actually move the point spread, somebody who would have an impact.
Exactly.
All right. What if the Warriors offer Wiggins, Draymond, and the number 2 pick for Karl Anthony Towns? And somebody actually suggested this to me, so I can't take credit for that one.
Draymond?
Yeah, Draymond, Wiggins, the number 2.
Wiggins, the number 2 for the big cat.
Yes.
But why?
Well, because then Minnesota would have the number 1 pick and the number 2 pick. You get Wiggins back into town. You can pair him up with D'Angelo Russell. Draymond will be Draymond.
Well, the reason why they got rid of Wiggins is because they did not want Wiggins. Like, that's why. You get rid of him because you don't want him. Yeah. No, that doesn't make any sense. That would never happen. Karl Anthony Towns is not worth all of that. No. Putting him there, okay, Cat has gotten better at his shooting, but do you think Cat is enough of a leader or even a defensive threat to replace Draymond?
No.
Draymond was Defensive Player of the Year. We can't not minimize that part of it.
But Cat, I think, is kind of known for not being the toughest of players at his position. So maybe having someone who's mostly bark, not as much bite, Draymond next to him, maybe by osmosis, that can make him at least feel a little bit tougher. Even if he becomes a fake tough guy, at least you're giving more effort in trying to be a tougher player, because that's part of his problem. Super talented. I mean, just God-gifted, but doesn't have the dog in him.
What people were you talking about trading?
Wiggins, Draymond, and the number 2 pick.
If Cat goes to Golden State, you no longer have Draymond to hype him up.
Oh, you're right. Crap.
Yeah, that pulls that right out the window.
Yeah, because Steph can't do it. Clay can't do it.
Nope.
Kerr can't do it.
Nope. Nah, it's a wasted trade. I wouldn't do it.
Dang it.
Not worth your time.
Well, like I said, I don't take responsibility for this scenario because I didn't come up with it. Next, what if OKC is really open to trading CP3 among the suitors? Milwaukee, the Knicks, Miami, the Lakers, or the Clippers? What if OKC is really open to trade CP3?
The Thunder will trade CP3.
Will trade.
Yes, he will be traded.
Okay.
I didn't want to buy into it initially, but with enough of the buzz that's going around right now, they're going to trade him.
Are there any leads out there on the streets as to where they're leaning towards trading him?
Probably to the Lakers. The Lakers may give up some of their young pieces and some draft picks. They don't really have very many, but they can give up something to get CP3. Or there may be a 3-team trade that could potentially happen where you send some draft picks to Oklahoma City, the Thunder send CP3 to them, and then the Lakers send out some of their young pieces to other places. Totally see it happening.
So then if they do that, would that truly cement the Lakers? I mean, will they just run away with the title next season if they
No. See the thing about it. Here's the thing about it. Everyone loves to ordain people as champions without recognizing that there's one key piece that has to happen before you can ordain them. It's called chemistry. Now, am I going to say that there's not going to be chemistry with CP3 and LeBron? Can't say that. But I can tell you this. They're both alphas. They're both over-the-top alphas. They're both accountability alphas. They can be homies in the streets, but they may scrap it on the court. So I don't know how well they would mesh as much as we want them to.
Like personality-wise, as dictated by how they are on the court.
Exactly, especially in a situation where you have to really compete. USA doesn't count to me because that's not competing.
Right.
We're not with that many stars. That's not competing. But in the way this league and the landscape is, I don't know.
Okay. So this second to last one, and this connects to the first one about Giannis. I just realized that. What if Anthony Davis does a 1-year deal to align his free agency with LeBron, who can opt out after next season? What if he does that?
Then they're going to go after Giannis. They're going to make it a big deal because that's the thing.
Yep.
And that's the complexities behind the way the NBA is set up with their salary cap and the way signings and stuff work. If both of them opt out because the team owns their bird rights, they can sign them and go over the cap. But it also releases all of the cap space that's there. They can sign Giannis and then re-sign those two guys, go way over the cap, paying the luxury tax, and then you really got now this is a legitimate super team at that point. But I don't see Giannis going to the Lakers.
I mean, that's the most multiverse of these scenarios. Is all three of those things happening.
Yes.
And then it ending up that way. But that's kind of fun to play with. I mean, in some parallel dimensional universe, that is actually happening right now. Bonus. Fred VanVleet, the point guard for the Raptors. What if he becomes a free agent? Because he can.
Yeah.
Somehow.
I'm waiting to see him become one.
Do you think he'd be a hot commodity on the market? Because for me, it's hard to tell because of how well he fits that system. Is he, like talk about system quarterbacks, is it the system or is it the player?
It's the system. And it's not a knock. It's no shade on him as a player because he is very good and efficient in what he does. I don't see him stepping out of Toronto and being who he is today.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't know, it's hard for me to read him as a player. I think he could be solid. You want him to be like your third guy because, he's already proven in the playoffs his head is in the right place. He's mentally tough. He can make some big shots in the biggest moments. So I think he's a really solid player, but he can't be your number 2. Maybe your number 3.
And to be honest with that, I think that's what makes his game so great is that he doesn't actually have to feel the pressure at that number 3 spot, whereas a lot of young players would still feel pressure. He knows that, I'm the third option.
Right.
They're not going to pay attention to me like they should, and so I'm going to go out there and take what's mine.
Well, if you're Fred VanVleet, knowing that there are playoff teams out there who need a good point guard, would you be so quick to re-sign with the Raptors, or would you want to test the market?
Heck no, I'll test the market because you know where he could go and he'd be really, really good at a very good price?
Where?
The Lakers.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
And he can hit the shots that you need to hit. He plays decent defense.
Yeah, he's in a perfect position because I've got a championship. I play for a really good head coach, so I know what a really good culture and a really good coaching looks like so that if ever I see it again later on in my career, I know to get the hell out of there. So you're right. Yeah, he's in a perfect position. And I really like him as a player.
He's probably in the best spot of all of them.
He is.